Being a captive or independent insurance agent is not about good or bad. It's about understanding the business model. And in this video, I'm going to break down the information that you need to know to be able to make an informed decision as objectively as possible. My name's Joseph, and I've built my business on the independent side, and I've studied every major captive model in the industry. So let's get right into it. Most people argue captive versus independent like it's a debate. It's not. The real issue is most people don't even understand what they're signing up for. They hear income potential, support, training, culture, but they don't understand the business structure behind it. And if you don't understand the structure, you're going to make decisions that could potentially limit you long-term without you even knowing it. Now, captive models exist for a reason. Carriers need predictable distribution, so they invest in infrastructure, compliance, training, resources. And in return, they want control. That's why they own the book. They control territories, expansion, compensation, and everything that you could think about in the business. And even though that you're typically 1099 and commission only, you're operating inside of a system that resembles a traditional job. Early on, that structure could be a huge advantage. Less decision making, clear expectations, strong support. But the trade-off shows up when you start growing. Captive doesn't cap your efforts, it caps your leverage. Now, a lot of captive companies will talk about a vesting period, 5, 7, even 10 years at times, where you allegedly own your book of business and you can retire. Now, to this day, in my experience, every person that I've met that tried to go independent after waiting out the vesting period ended up losing their book because of some technicality. So if you're going to go captive, you need to make sure that you read the entire fine print on your contract so you could understand what ownership actually means and don't get caught off guard years down the road. Another reality of captive is the dependency that you have on the company. You're basically tied to one carrier. And I've seen people who, while they were growing and building massive businesses, they were praised and they were making a lot of money. And when they became too big and too profitable, very visible, the company came back and on some BS technicality, terminated them, leaving them with nothing. Because as you probably know, if you can't keep it, it ain't yours. And when that happens, it doesn't matter how hard you've worked, you're pretty much at the mercy of that agreement that you originally signed. Now, even if your production is strong and you're making good money, you're still building a business under somebody else's framework. The ownership you have is conditional and your risk is increasing as you grow because you're dependent on the company. Now, for me, I don't think captive is bad, but I think it's a 2-year play at best so you can piggyback the resources and the structure you're being given and you could learn the industry. Beyond that, depending on your goals, honestly, the limitations are really going to start outweighing the benefits. Now, let's talk about independent. Being independent doesn't mean that you're free to do whatever you want. Total opposite. It means you got to be responsible because you're not being handed a system. You're actually choosing one. You're not given structure, you're building it. And the reality is, being independent is a lot harder in the beginning. No one's going to force you to show up. No one's going to track your dials. And no one's going to tell you what to do day to day. If you lack discipline, it's going to be exposed right away. Because in this industry, especially on the independent side, you are not what you say, you are what you do. Most of the people that fail on the independent side, they don't fail because it's not good. They simply fail because they're not used to operating without supervision. Now, everything I just told you is the bad part about independent. The good thing is, brokerage models do offer training, resources, structure, and mentorship, but most importantly, they offer ownership. Typically, you are vested with your book from day one. One major difference being that instead of you piggybacking somebody else's infrastructure like you do on the captive side, you're paying for your own resources and you're investing into your business from day one. Now, here are the cool things about being independent. Commissions are negotiable. You have access to a lot more products, so you can help a lot more families. And if you want to grow or expand, there's no politics. Everything is based on your own performance. And even though every brokerage tells you they're going to offer support, support can be limited. There's no safety net, there's no corporate umbrella. And if you make a bad decision, you're going to feel the repercussions immediately. But again, with the huge upside of actually owning your business. Being independent is for people who could self-regulate, who want autonomy, and who want delayed gratification to build something that's bigger than them. It's not for everyone, and that's okay. Being independent will reward you being disciplined the same way that being captive will reward you listening to what your upline is telling you to do. Now, if I had to put this on a scale of 0 to 100, with 100 being extremely successful, I think if you're captive, you could probably go from 0 to 25 a lot simpler. But if you want to go from 25 to 100, independent is the way to go. Because going from 0 to 25 independent is going to be the hardest thing that you go through, but then it's going to click and you're going to be able to scale a lot faster and get to 100, that successful level that you're looking to get to. So to recap, captive is going to give you structure, support, and real direction, especially in the beginning, while independent will give you autonomy, flexibility, and real ownership as you grow. Now, there's plenty of money in both business models. I personally know multiple 7, 8, and 9-figure earners that work in both the captive space as well as the independent space. And my goal with this video wasn't to steer you in one direction over the other. It was to give you clarity based on all the information that I've been able to gather over the last several years working in the industry. So whichever path you end up choosing, just make sure that it aligns with your goals, your circumstances, and whatever you're trying to build long term. If this video helped you, please hit the subscribe button. I'm going to continue to break down the industry in the way that most people won't be willing to do.